Can you see how stinking far out of whack that is? Hey everybody, welcome back to Beeler Family Farm, and more specifically the Rich Street renovation project. Renovation is such a misnomer for what we've done to this house. Whew. Today, it is porch ceiling day. We got a few things left to do. All of these ceiling joists need a few more nails because there's some of them that only got like one. They're just old box nails. We're gonna tack them off a little bit better with some ring shank out of the nail gun. I've got part of it done already. I spent hours last night pulling nails out of all the ceiling joists. We are not putting back up 1x4 boards. We're putting up 4x8 sheets of beadboard, and I'm going to put that up with galvanized ring shank out of the nail gun. And away we go. It's that kind of weather that's just drizzly and damp and unpleasant, but there's work to do, so let's get after it. Because you guys get the point. I'm gonna nail it off. We'll get the chalk line out and we'll see if we can make a straight line. I'll be back in a minute. All right, got that nailed. Got a nail in the ceiling down there. Chalk line. You're gonna hear my kids screaming. They're playing in the 50-degree rain because Dad may have been a paramedic for 35 years, but he don't know nothing about staying out of the cold, wet rain. So we'll see what happens to them. Anyway, let's snap a chalk line. Oh, you gotta be kidding. How you gonna do that to me, chalk line? All right. So there's already kind of some marks. What we're doing is wanting to see where these come to. Oh, I missed a nail. In my defense, there's 4,000 or so nails. Daddy is recording. Please stop the screaming, or at least limit it and keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. All right, so what I'm doing here, I'm just marking where my square touches both parts. And that should, in theory, tell me where I gotta go. For a straightish, I hope, straight line. Just a little bit of more string, there we go. Well, let's go see if it let's go see if it made a mark all the way to the end. And I think the next thing, we might as well do some measuring. I have very little expectation that this thing is either square a little or square at all. It's not way out because I know from putting the porch ceiling roof, big fancy word, so about 72.5 there. Now, because I'm on that board and I want to tuck that in. I know that board's an inch thick. So we're gonna make it 70, about 73. And 33.5. Okay, we're back again. Doing a little more measuring here. Kind of at some point you gotta cut it and go for it, right? Kind of what I think anyway. Working upside down and backwards. Okay, gonna go. Seems like it ought to work. Let me get a saw. Some spacers so I don't cut the sheets underneath. You ever notice you drag all these tools out and then you got to pick them all up and you don't realize how many tools you've drug out until you got to pick them all up?
So it should be somewhere right about here that I realize my microphone has went dead, but I don't. Must be a battery thing because the battery was dead in the saw as well. Grab the battery, finish cutting that, dragging the nail gun out here. We're going to get this first piece put up. It actually fits pretty good. Doesn't take too long to get some nails in it. You'll have to forgive the poor audio because I have a pretty significant cold right now. Always a good time. I've just stuck a couple screws in that beam to catch the long side up there so I can get it lined up. And I'm hitting that chalk line right now. Kind of hard to see that, I know, but getting that in there. Checking it for length on that ceiling joist. Technically rafter there. First nail in it there, and we're gonna, I think I gotta scoot down and pull it just a little onto that chalk line. Get you guys down here to take a look. First piece, I know that piece is dirty, but like I said earlier, we're going to clean that up and it'll be just fine. A little bit off on my angle cut there, but I'm going to take my little oscillating tool and just zip that right off to hit the center of that angled piece. I think it'll work out pretty good in the end. Going to take some filler.
Well, you know, I may not be a carpenter. I may just play one on YouTube. And I'm definitely not a machinist, but I have been struggling with my lines all dang day. Doesn't look terrible, but it ain't just right. And I'm going to show y'all why it's not just right. And I'll have to go back and look of who actually produced this, if it was Georgia Pacific or who. Okay, we can agree, not a machinist square, but generally reliable. Sheetrock square, also nice and square. Can you see how stinking far out of whack that is? I mean, you can see it in the 6.5 inches of the speed square. It's no wonder I can't make it come out right. I was having, I'm so frustrated, right? It's trying to keep the bead lines straight or keep the edges straight. Nothing was the same twice. I mean, at $35 or $38 a sheet, that's offensive. Like, really offensive. I am like mad about this because now, you know, do I bite the bullet being 3/4 of the way done and try to get it squared up a little better? I don't know. It's just, that is just offensive. I mean, here I think I'm buying a product that is going to make my life better. I don't know. I don't think I can. I'm not going to cut it. I mean, they're probably all the same way. I'm 2/3 of the way done now. no sense in trying to change it. I got one big sheet to put up. That's basically a full sheet. I'm going to cut this thing. You guys can watch. I'm going to get it put up. Then I'll see where I'm at, because I've been frustrated. I've switched from nailing it up to putting screws in it, because I've had to take it down and adjust it to try to get the sight lines right. Whoo-wee. It all makes sense now. And I'm sure that sheetrock square is not exact, but it's close. I've checked it a few times. I've checked it with a 2-foot square as well. But man, that's ridiculous. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You guys have those days that are 100% a struggle? It's been this day for me. I don't know, maybe that sheetrock square is off. It's possible. I've just not been overtly impressed by the quality of this stuff, generally speaking. Here we go. Still heavy, in case you're wondering. I have to scooch my ladder. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. Oh, this is not going well. One more step. Why is it not sliding? There we go. Well, that's not helping any at all. Okay. Holy smokes. You guys could have held this end up a little better. Man. Or tucked that wire out of the way. That would have been super handy of you. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Hey, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put a block in there. And I'm going to need a block in there, because I have not been worried about if it fell right on the ceiling joist, because ain't no two of them the same distance apart, generally speaking. So let me cut this right here. I was honestly hoping to make it to lights today, but truth be known, that ain't happening. I'm not sure what I'm hitting in there, but I'm gonna have to take a peek. I don't want to capture those wires and have a problem. There we go. That's good. Just like that. I like it. That's a cedar board under there for my block. Not sure I hit it. Did not hit it. How did I not hit it? Holy smokes, that is so far off. How is it that far off? That doesn't make any sense. None at all. Like none at all. I don't get it. I really don't. But I'm kind of at the point of just surrendering and making it live there. Because it makes absolutely no sense why that is that far off. Not when everything else is lined up so close. like that. That is ridiculous. Why is it so bowed? Pre-bent screw, hot day. So this is kind of the spot where I've had to do all the modification to that 2x4 set there. Oh, I am too close. There's nothing there. That's why I didn't hit anything. That's my problem out there. That's my problem out there. That explains it. Gonna be some filler in this sucker to make up for the irregularities. I don't remember which side that's on. Alright, well, start here and go the other way, because I know that it is somewhere out here. It'll look all right once it's all painted. It just Gonna be some work getting there, just like everything else on this thing. Obviously what I need to do there is put some blocking behind it. Let me get some blocking. I found it. Let's test the theory. And you see, 2-foot steel framing square. Square as all get out. It's the sheets. It's the sheets. They're inconsistent. They're overpriced. I guess when you don't have quality, you don't need quality control. Isn't that right? I don't know. What I do know is I'm done. I got cleaning up to do, but this is where we're going to leave it for today. I was hoping to finish it off so that I could start lights tomorrow, but I feel like I got the hard part done, and I know that I'm dealing with stuff that's not square or consistent, so that'll, in theory, make it easier. I hope. I don't know. I'll try to record some tomorrow. Probably put it all together in just one video. It's a few days before Christmas. You'll probably see this one after Christmas. So I have to work Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But I appreciate you watching. And I hope you come back for the next part of this. Whether it's another video or all together, we'll see what happens. Thanks.